Okay. Now, for you fools who search the universe for the center of power, by center, don't you mean the origins and main force or power by which the entire universe is driven? Don't you mean the place from which that power came, from where that power is, from where that power will be and remain? Do you think that force is gravity? Do you think that force is light without love? Gravity is enslaved to its own laws. It has no will of its own and no choice to impose its will or not. Like treachery has no will of its own, it only follows the rules of its creator. And those who engage in it are subject to and enslaved by its rules and by its creator. Man has rules given to him by man's creator, God, which is your creator, fools, just in case you were wondering. But man is not forced to follow God's rules. Rather, we are given love in our hearts so that we may use our free will to find the truth of God's law, so that we follow it not as a slave, but because we choose to, as we understand the love inside of us and God's law as the path of and fulfillment of the love that is every man. We are not subject to or enslaved by the laws with which we are created. We are free to embrace them, as we are free to find them about ourselves and within ourselves, free to complete ourselves in them. And unlike any other of God's creation and children, we are free to save ourselves from them by repenting and atoning in Jesus. For according to God's law, we are all criminals of love. We are all sinners, but we are not all rejected like gravity rejects all that doesn't comply with its will. We are embraced. We are embraced as we repent and atone in Jesus in truth. As we are forgiven, we are not rejected for our imperfections, as all other things forged in that which is not God and not love is rejected. In our forgiveness, we are given more than a life of being obedient to rules. We are given a life of fulfilling rules. And there is the difference between being obedient to rules and being the fulfillment of rules. Well, beyond massive, right? The difference between being forced to follow a set of rules versus choosing to follow a set. It's the difference between being forced to follow rules that enslave you versus choosing to follow rules that free you. No force or power in the universe allows for itself to be hurt by itself, but at the same time bends only to itself. Only love can choose to break itself by not forgiving. No other force like this is other than love. Other than love, through forgiveness, can transcend its own rules. Only love can transcend its own rules that it was forged in through forgiveness. Because forgiveness is one of the rules of love. And only man can have forgiveness because only man is forged in love by God. Only through love can the enslavement of all other rules, forces, or powers be overcome. Love bends to itself through forgiveness alone. Through forgiveness, love is not subject to any other force in the universe because it is subject to itself. So as love is the most powerful force in the universe, you find the source of love in the universe and you will find the center of power that you seek. Find where love transcends its own rules in forgiveness, and you will find the center from which all the universe is created. And I tell you this, God is love, and He dwells in each one of His children. Only God is love, and He dwells in each one of His children. And He rests in His only Son, Jesus, who is the Son of God, the Son of Man. All other forces in the universe, all other forces can be broken or overcome except for love, as by forgiving those who hurt us and sinned against our love, we remain in love. And we forgive all that tries to break us, to break our love, because it cannot break our love unless we break it by not forgiving, by not forgiving others and asking for our own forgiveness for our own sin through Jesus. You know, it's not easy to live the rules. Not as easy to live them as it is to speak of them. So I'll tell you this. Forgive your brother for his sins, but cast the evil from your midst. And if and when he repents and atones from evil and embraces love, then embrace him. God gave him the time to find his love, to find God. And that time is not for any man to take from him. It belongs to God. When you kill that man or any man, you take that time from him and you deny that time to God. Killing is a lie. It's a theft. It's blasphemy against God and against love, against the love inside yourself. Forgive your brother, but cast the evil from your midst. If he repents and atones, then he is no longer evil, is he? And you can embrace him. And you shall embrace him. But forgive him nevertheless, and cast the evil from your midst, lest you become the evil. It's going to roll off the paper. To you who roam the universe, and I'm not going to put any names to this right away, because I really don't have the names, and I don't need to know all the names, because I don't need to know the lies to know the truth. I don't need to know lies to know the truth. I only need to know truth to recognize the lies. So I don't need all the names, because the names don't matter, and the way you look don't matter. It doesn't matter if you have white skin or black skin or tan skin, just like it doesn't matter if you have green skin or blue skin, just like it doesn't matter if you have skin or scales, or you float, or you drive a Pinto, or you drive a BMW, or you drive a spaceship. It doesn't matter, because when you see truth, you see how it is all the same. You see the commonality, and you speak all the languages, because there's only one language, truth, and the rest is just a lie. When you pull all the rest of them, you pull all those lies from out of your eyes, and you see that, this complicated problem becomes very, very simple. Simple to a man, because you got love in your heart, and you hold on to that love because it dwells in you, because God is love, and God dwells in you, in your soul. So back to you who roam the universe without humility, without mercy. You search not truth. You search not truth to glorify God, but you search truth to glorify yourselves. Truth to serve your purposes and glorify that which you already know. All you find in your search for truth is lies, because you search with only lies. You were not born of God's image, and love does not dwell inside you. And because you do not have love, you do not find love. Because you do not have a soul, you cannot find a soul. You are driven by one purpose, but drawn to many, while man is driven by many purposes, but drawn to one. And you do not understand man, and therefore you fear man. The children of light have lit well your path in greed and lust and debauchery, drunk with power of destroying. If you can dominate and control a race, you will. If you can dominate but not control, you destroy. If you cannot dominate, then you serve. And only evil serves evil. If you cannot lead, you then follow, but in no case do you love. You have observed man to see that the treachery of man's sin caused man's demise. And the one whom you follow prizes man's love and soul. And still you do not recognize the error of your ways. You hold yourself superior because you do not have such treachery within your ranks. I'll tell you, your entire rank is such treachery. Your days have been foretold. The tail of the dragon that you follow will sweep you to hell with him. You do not understand man's place because you do not understand your own place. As you do not understand yourself, you do not understand man. You would do better to abandon your post and run as fast as your cowardice of evil can take you, lest you face the wrath of God with the one whom you follow and follow his fate along with him to hell. Better you run and serve those you once enslaved, and buy with your time humility with your actions. For you can only overcome arrogance with humility, lest your arrogance be swept with all arrogance again into hell. And some of you who roam, you search in truth. You search for truth. And you find some humility in your wisdom. That in all you understand, you know that which understands you, you do not understand. Follow that. Your humility is found in your wisdom, that in all you understand, you know that which understands you, you do not understand. From this humility came your mercy, and the truth you see outside what the children of light have shown you. You have been wise to distance yourself from lies, but because you do not have love, you do not know justice, and you do not bring God's justice to any of his children. If you are not against me, you are with me. But if you are not with me, then you are against me. You are neither hot nor cold, as you stand indifferent to the suffering you witness. Sympathy is the reflection you see in the waters of mercy into which you stare, but do not drink. You are afraid the waters will poison you. It is the lie he told you, so that you would resonate it off your tongues. So you fear that if you love man, yet as you see man suffer in his love, you will then suffer. You fools! He lies to you. Do you not see that man suffers because of him? Because of Lucifer? Because of the one who lies to you? You don't want to be subject to his will, so you will not engage in love with man and show unto man your mercy in truth. Do you not see that he fears truth? So you continue to lie for him because you are afraid of him. But he fears truth. Doesn't your wisdom tell you to fear that which whom you fears? Just saying. And you stand around and you know that you are living a lie by watching suffering and doing nothing about it. And he knows that you're standing by, watching and doing nothing about it. He knows very well, just like he knows what that does to the people walking in and out of that church that see Lazarus and do nothing because of all the lies they are told. Like you do nothing because of all the lies you were told. It is not the abundance, it is not the presence of truth that causes our error and folly. It is the presence of lies that causes error and folly. No matter how much truth you have, lies corrupt. All of your own enslavement is centered on the enslavement of love. It is centered around the enslavement of man. And that which you will not embrace, you cling to for your very lives. You won't embrace love, but you'll bottle it. You'll cling to it for your very lives, but you won't understand what you subject yourself to. You won't embrace love because you cannot find it in your bodies. You cannot find it in your hearts because it's not there. And it's not there because it's not in your actions, because it's not in your wisdom. Your wisdom is that you don't follow rules you don't understand, as you have no faith in love, no faith in God or Jesus. As your wisdom lacks humility, your hearts lack faith. Only truth destroys lies, and only love is truth. And you know that and understand that and believe that through faith in Jesus. Just as true wisdom commands humility before that which you do not know, understand, or control, so does love command faith. And you know this through your prophecies. And many of you gather to witness, but again hide truth from man, as you hide it from yourselves by denying love, by denying God, by denying Jesus, by denying truth. You gather because man's prophecy and your prophecy align, in that a third of the heavens and stars will be swept away by the dragon's tail and hurled down to earth. Your wisdom does not understand that the truth, unrevealed, that causes a sin is a lie, and a greater sin than the one it caused. For this reason you do not understand man's prophecy, as you do not understand your own. For this reason you watch evil and do nothing. As you do not have love, you do not have hurt by watching evil. Even evil upon evil, a most disgusting sight, and you watch it and do nothing. But even your lies can't lie the truth away from you, that doing nothing to stop sin, to stop suffering, is just the empty hand of the master's overseers. It serves its master no purpose until the overseer's other arm is tired from lashing the slaves. Then you won't stand back and do nothing. You'll be forced to whip those you won't help now, and then you will be more enslaved to whom you fear now, when you should fear God because that's who he fears. He fears truth. He fears love. And Jesus is coming to judge the living and the dead. And you who have watched will be judged by that which you have seen. For no one escapes the power of the Lord. No one is unavailed of Jesus' love who embraces it, but all will suffer the wrath of God who do not. Those who do not bend to God's will and that of his one and only Son, Jesus, will be broken by their own will to sin. Lucifer lies to you when he shows you his power and tells you it is according to his order. That's a lie. It is according to God's order. Lucifer's lies are not in the truth that he shows you, but in the truth that he does not. He learned to lie from the void. That's how he lies, with truth, void of truth. Truth void of truth is that which he lies with, by giving you only part of the truth so as to lead you into sin. And the other part of the truth he leaves void. And that void is not truth, and therefore it is a lie. That's how he slips the lies in with his truth, by leaving some of the truth out. I don't know how many more of these segments I'm going to get to record. And I can tell you it won't be many more before I release them. But again, I want you to see them with the simplicity with which they are made in every way. Multi-faceted message for a multi-faceted audience. God bless you all.